The Galaxy is a fully modular ship designed by RSI and comes with an onboard hangar capable of deploying other small to mid-sized ships into the surrounding area. Its main deck can be outfitted with an interchangeable module. The base one it comes with, well, it comes with nothing, it's just void space. But you can buy additional ones, which is either a cargo, medical, or refining module. I will go over these in more detail later on in the video. The ship's hangar is of the size extra small. This is basically the size of a planetary outpost, one of those blue coloured spawning spaces that you find down there to spawn, for example, ground vehicles. Some of the ships that you can spawn there are the Anvil Pisces, the Argo MPUV, Misk Razor, Origin 85X and Origin M50. The rear hangar does not have a ramp or elevator to the ground, meaning you can't put any ground vehicles in there unless you have a cargo module and you bring it up to the top, bring it through the doors and into the hangar. That is only if they fit in there as well. The hangar does not have an inbuilt system to refuel or repair ships you put in it, and would require you to bring the equipment, for example a Greycat multi-tool on board, to fix it yourself. The hangar is where the storage for the 64 SCU of cargo space is stored, as 2 grids of 32 SCU in each of the edge of the hangar, if that makes sense, which doesn't impact the ship storage. You can still store exactly the same amount of ships in there. This is with or without purchasing a module, so is there as stock storage without you having to buy anything. Before I move on to the module specifics, I would just like to say that the ship loaner is the Carrack, as it is similar in size / capabilities, they say, which it does seem to be, in my opinion. Now, moving on to the module specifics, and starting off with the cargo module, this has 4 key points about it. It has an industrial lift for cargo or vehicles to use, an additional 512 SCU added, which is, well, more than the Carrack and is honestly amazing. It's very much. It also has tractor cranes, which are there to assist in moving cargo or even maybe vehicles, depending. And you can enter the hangar directly through the module to the rear. They do state that although the cargo module is not designed for vehicle access, it can be used for it as long as they fit in through the lift. It is stated that the RSI Ursa will comfortably fit. This is shown in one of the photos back just a few seconds ago. The medbay module has 3 tier 3 medbeds which treat minor injuries, for example a little bit of fall damage, so 3 of them. It has 2 tier 2 medbeds for things like broken bones or more serious injuries, and then 1 tier 1 medbed which is the same that is found on the Carrack and the 890 Jump, which are the only other 2 ships that seem to have it at the moment. Now you can respawn on these beds and treat all injuries. They're the ones that you'll mainly be using unless you have other crew on board. Maybe you'll be using the other ones, but I doubt you'll be using them that much, and mainly we use the tier 1 one. There is also a life lift for delivering injured personnel to or from the med bay, which is another nice feature, which you can see in the middle there. Now the final module is the refinery one. It has a command console to control the entire module or operation. It has 2 processors. These process raw ore into sellable material, supposedly by the push of a button, and you would use this after you use a material extractor to pull raw ore into the system for processing, which you can see in the middle, and with the 2 processors on the outside. You can also access the hangar from this module. You just have to kind of walk through the back. It's the same on every single module, you just have to walk through the back, even with no module on, it's the same. And this refinery module cannot refuel itself with refined quantanium, which would turn into the fuel, of course. They do say about manufacturing and other modules coming at a later date, so do remember this could have more coming, but also at a greater price. Just going over the prices briefly, and the standalone ship is about $380, and then each module is $70, $80 and $90 each, going up in 10 each time depending on which one you buy, but these prices are likely to change as the ship has only been released for one sale as of yet. They haven't done it more than once. So if you were to buy the ship and all the modules, it would be a bit more than the Carrack is as of now, but then prices may not be 100%. I'm just quickly going over it, but I can't find much on it, to be honest. Now, I couldn't find any like labeled ship diagrams, so I've had to kind of make my own, so hopefully it makes sense. But as you can see, at the front of the top layer of a ship, we have a bridge. It comes with 4 little seats, with 1 to fly, of course, the main one, and like maybe a commanding chair behind it. To the back and left a little bit is a crew lift, which actually goes to the bottom floor. And then to the right of that is a docking collar, of course, to be able to dock with ships. Just behind that we have a crew recreational area and the kitchen galley. They're both actually combined into one room. I'll put a little image up here of it. But they are actually combined and a little walkway goes through them. Just behind that we have some rooms or maybe offices. I can't quite tell from this image here, and there wasn't any images I could find online, but I would assume they're crew cabins. Just behind that again we have, like, of course, a little hallway, then the main captain's quarters, and another room, a couple of rooms. Behind that we have another hallway, which is a viewing platform down towards a hangar, and there's another 2 lifts at the end of each hallway, which takes you down towards the bottom floor. This is the whole of the top floor. Then if we go down towards the bottom floor from the front again, we have components at the very front. Then if you go down some stairs, it looks like you have crew lockers or suits. Then just behind that again, you have access to the crew lift, which takes you up to the other one in the top section that was just behind the bridge. But if you don't go up the lift and you just decide to go straight backwards, this is where you have access to the modules. Now this is ones that will trade out into either cargo, medical or refinery, of course. Pretty nice room. Now you can walk straight through there. Now that takes you into the hangar. That's where your ships will be stored, of course. You can make any repairs to your ship you want to, of course, through a multi-tool though. Now on the left and the right side of the hangar is access to the crew lifts. Again, they take you up to the top floor. So in total, 3 elevators. And I assume that the crew lift towards the front of the ship will take you down to the floor as well. Now the weapons, armour and manoeuvrability of this ship, and the pilot only has access to the missiles on the ship. This is used as 8 size 2 missiles. These aren't the best, but they're still something when you compare it to the Carrack, and I do think you can change these out for less bigger sized missiles, as in less missiles but they're bigger sized also, but I will not confirm that yet. And the crew get access to a total of 3 size 6 turrets with 2 size 5 weapon mounts included. So size 5 turrets basically, if that makes more sense. They also say that the speed of the Galaxy is close to the constellations, as in acceleration, velocity and all that, and have a manoeuvrability to the Carracks, which is that big ship I've talked about before. It has 1 size 3 large shield reactor, which is the same that is found on a Carrack for comparison, although the Carrack gets 2 of these, so basically half a Carrack's health, and then you've got the Galaxies. There was something about them changing that though, so that may not stay the same forever. This is just the last section, but if you wanted a comparison between the Galaxy and the Carrack, as I know a lot of people think they are similar in capabilities. The Carrack is a jack of all trades, master of none, you know that saying, and the Galaxy is the opposite, a jack of none, master of one. Of course, unless you change out the module, then it changes what it's good at. However, they have said that changing modules will happen if you go somewhere that can do it first of all. Example they gave us is Cousin Crow's shop. And the ship will be there for not too lengthy of a time, as long as all the required parts are at the location, for example the module. These timings are unknown as of now for though. If you wanted to get a general feel for how big the ship is, it's about an in-between length between a Gemini and Carrack, or just the length of a Caterpillar, and width-wise it's about the same as a 600i before the rework is done, of course, as I don't know when you're watching this. And I just wanted to say, this has taken me absolutely ages to record. I mean, look at this. But I've really enjoyed doing this now. It's one of my favourite ships in the game. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And that's me, Duffer, out.